Shake the Ground podcast is brought to you by Amplify Podcast Studio. They don't just produce podcasts, they build podcasts designed to last. See amplify.ie. Welcome back to Shake the Ground, the podcast that's here to remind you that the life, job, relationship and persona you want, it's all within reach. I'm your host, Nathalie Lennon, and every week we're diving into the stories of people who dared to do things differently, who chose the path less taken, trusted themselves, and basically shook the ground. I hope that this podcast helps you to build confidence and self-belief, ensuring you never settle for a life less than what you dream of. So if you've ever felt stuck, scared, or like you're playing small, get ready to shake the ground. Today's guest is one I am beyond excited about. If you could bottle this man's energy, vibe, aura, however you want to phrase it, you'd be on to becoming a millionaire, because he's truly one of the most positively infectious souls I've ever met. When I first met Kieran, it was at the Chicago Marathon trip, I think, and he left a really big impact on me. I haven't told him this yet, but in the sense of just caring less and kind of not taking anyone else's opinion of you into account and truly doing you. Not to mention his insane running abilities, the fact that he is such a family man, comedian in my opinion, and I'm going to say the king of Kinnity in Offaly, where he is from. You'll understand that reference if you follow his social media platforms, of course, where he has grown a hugely engaged audience over the years. Please welcome the legendary Kieran Corrigan to the pod. Hello, how you doing?
Jesus, Natalie, what? I'm like, God, I won't fit out of this room. My head will not fit out.
This is my thing with my podcast. I love having an intro that really hypes people up the way they deserve to be hyped up. And
I'll take it. I'll take it 100%.
I mean that. Like, Chicago was the first time we met, wasn't it?
Chicago was the first time we met. Yeah, we'd followed each other for a good few years, and then I didn't know you were going to Chicago or anything. Like, you don't know who's going. So like when we were out there, then it was yourself, Max, and Caroline, and it was just it was an epic time. Yeah, it was brilliant. So
it was. Yeah. That was actually the dream few days, and I mean it when I say you did leave you left such an impact on me, and how you just do not care, and you just do yourself, and you have your boundaries. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But inside it, there's so much positivity.
Yeah, I think, do you know what though? I think that comes with age and it comes with like life experience. But I to word it maybe in my way, I'd be like, I'm nearly dead to people's opinions. Do you know?
I love that.
I'm literally nearly dead to their opinions. I'm kind of like, it takes a while to realise that it's not me, it is them. It's something in them that is triggered. Mm-hmm. And like they need to work on that, and instead of being angry with them, and even if I get angry with someone's opinion of me, I need to sit for 5 minutes and go, hold on, why am I angry?
I love that.
Do you know, why is this person's opinion of me triggering me? Mm-hmm. Do you know? And when you actually sit and think like that, then for a couple of minutes, you're kind of like, it's amazing what the response that comes from your body. Yeah, because like we hold so much in our body, and it's amazing the response that you see. You're like, oh my God, why did that trigger me? And then,
I think I am not at your level yet of not caring. I think I'm getting there.
Really?
Yeah, but when you say that, like, you are dead to people's opinions of you, I think that sounds so strong, and I feel like I'm not quite. I feel like I'm give me a word, dormant. I feel like I'm like a dormant volcano. Like sometimes I might kind of erupt in terms of my emotions to a negative opinion of me, because I guess I feel like I've been a people pleaser. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So switching that off it takes time.
Yeah, like I'd still I'd hear people's opinions of me or see them, but I'm kind of like,
you know, that's their issue.
Yeah, it's there. Like it's something that like I've worked on, but like it's something that is triggering them, and like they need to work on that. Yeah, and I can actually help them work on it.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that and how you can help them work on that. Kieran, for people who maybe don't follow you and they want to get a bit of background on you and what you're all about, like right now you've amassed a huge following. Instagram would be your main platform.
Instagram would be my main baby,
128k as of speaking today anyway. Running is like your baby. I associate you with running and laughter and countryside vibes. Good. Right? That's what I associate with you.
Yeah.
But how did you get to this point of working like full time as an influencer?
God, like I think it was February 2019. I was in sports director at the time as assistant or store manager, and I was just like, I was kind of unhappy in it, and I just kind of like remember sitting in my car one day and I was like, I was chatting to another influencer in the store and I was like, I'm going to give this a go. And it just kind of went from there. I think at that time, I put a lot of it down to luck as well. Like it's hard work, but I think at the time it wasn't as a saturated market. And like, you know, there wasn't as many influencers out there. And I just went on and thankfully I've held it. I was just myself and I just said it as it is. I like, you know, like I remember there was a point I went through on social media and I was kind of like, this isn't me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be something else. And I was like, cop on now fairly rapidly.
Yeah.
But that was kicked off in February 2019. And yeah, I left Sports Directed in February 2021 and I went working for another company for 2 years. And I think about 2 years now, full time on social media. But I love it. Like I do love it. I remember there was actually a builder in our house about a year and a half ago, and it sticks in my brain. Jimmy's his name, right? But basically, it sticks in my brain. And I remember chatting to him in the kitchen, and my dad, who's passed, like he would have been in around Dad's age and would have known each other and stuff. And I remember chatting about work and all this kind of stuff. And at the time, I was kind of like, God, will I go back to work? Will I keep social media full time? Do you know, like the extension was going up and up in price. Like,
yeah.
It's like, we're fucking hell. But I remember him saying to me, he was like that, I said to him, I was like, oh, look, my job could be gone in the morning. And he's like, anyone's job could be gone in the morning.
Valid point.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Anyone's job could be gone in the morning.
I've never heard anyone say it that way. Because I guess I'm in the same boat as you that way.
Yeah,
you know?
because sometimes we can be like, oh my God, is this it? Like, am I going to be doing this in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time? Like, will I still be saying up and ahead and running on Instagram, do you know? But it's good we will always be evolving and changing, do you know? But I always remember him saying that in the kitchen that day, going like, anyone's job could be gone in the morning.
That is so true, though.
Yeah, that's... Like I've Orna there, or married to Orna.
Shout out to Orna, the absolute queen, and she does a bit of social media with you.
She does a little bit of social media as well. So Orna will hop on and off there. She's a gas yoke, so she is. And we bounce off each other really well on social media. And
I love it. I love watching you two bounce off each other. I guess, not being at that stage of living together 100% of the time, having children in my own relationship. I always say this on the pod. I always kind of look up to people who are there and seeing that like banter you have, how you make it so fun and positive. Obviously, there's always struggles behind the scenes. But I think you two are just unbelievable.
I think you have to have a bit of crack.
You know,
life is so serious. Like when you have bills, mortgage, kids, you name it. It's like it's non-stop. It's go. Like I look back and I'm like, how did Mammy do it? Like, you know, without dad or that. Like, how did Mammy do it? It's insane.
Yeah.
But you have to have the crack. Like, and thankfully we do. Now we murder each other as well. Like, but like not physically or like I'm not actually murder each other. But it's
She just puts bleach on the toilet to get you back.
Yeah, it's bleach on the toilet to get me back there. Yeah, so that's after coming out this week. But the response to that was so funny. That was so funny. So
for reference, if you're listening, you're like, what do you mean bleach on the toilit? There was a reel went up and you collaborated on it and you were like, Orna, you
get me a stingy Mickey from the domestos. What
I literally am back and watched it like 3 times because she's laughing and you hold such a straight face. You're like, you need to apologise.
Yeah.
You gave me a stingy Mickey.
It was very funny. But it's even like just when we were saying about people triggering, like we got messages from that. And
negative ones.
Yeah, and like it's just like, how can you bring something from negatives to someone just having a bit of crack? But
whereas to me, that was the best video I saw on social media that day. It made me laugh so much.
And people got so much laughs out of it, like, But it's just like, you learn that as well. Yeah. People are they're always going to have a problem, that kind of way.
So the phrases, right? You mentioned it there. You were like up and at it and saying that on social media. Like you have had a lot of, I suppose, viral moments with your phrases. Speak to me about that. Where did they come from? And in particularly, if you have little ones listening to this right now and you're in the car, I'd maybe cover their ears because we might be saying a particular 4-letter word.
Cunt.
Straight into it. I love it.
But I love that word, and it's like I remember I was doing therapy myself, and my therapist was like to me, like, do you know what's a word? And I just came out of me cunt, and I was just like, and he just sat looking at me.
What do you mean? He said what's it?
He was like, what word would you like take to describe? It was a topic I was speaking on. And he was like, and how you're feeling and this and that, and I was like, cunt, and he just was looking at me, and he was like, that's a very strong word, but I believe like. Thankfully, on my social media, I found my people that actually it's not. There's no negative meaning in saying the word.
They take it lightheartedly.
Exactly. Do you know? And I think as Irish, we do take bad language nice and lighthearted.
Yeah,
we do.
We do.
And they're actually probably my most
viral videos.
Reels,
Yeah.
the cunt ones.
Yeah.
Because I just find they resonate with people, and like social media is just so perfect in everything that I think for someone then to just see, to just hear it and see it, and we all say it like at the kitchen table.
And
like,
I think once or twice when I was younger. Now I have my phone out in front of me here because we're going to play a sound. I need people to just hear exactly what we mean by the virality of his videos. So this is one that you've had go most viral.
Oh, that was insane!
As of recently, so we'll just pause it for a second, and we're going to play this here if I can.
Listen to this, lads. Hello, you cunt! Just checking, there's no cunts. Just checking, there's no cunts in sight. I'm up the mountain. Look at that. Not a cunt in sight, only myself. Listen to this, lads. That went insane. Like,
oh my God.
There's so many videos on TikTok. A guy, Matty, on a mountain.
That's the one I had saved there.
He literally
downloaded your video.
He downloaded my video, obviously used a voiceover. And like, I didn't even realise you could do that. Like, do you know, because like I know you can do it, but like I never really thought of it. And I put that up as a trial reel. Did you? That was literally a trial reel, thanks to you telling me about them. And I was just like, that was around Christmas time, and nothing happened with that for a month. And then literally like he shared it. And then it was just on TikTok, like all these like huge influencers, like Talisa off the X Factor shared it. She used it, yeah. Like she's it up on her grid, like on TikTok. It's insane. The only last week, like is it Erica or something, the Housewives of Beverly Hills? She used it as well.
And
like,
when they use this audio and it's your voice, this is crazy. This is crazy that stars that big are using your voice.
I know, it's insane. Yeah.
Like, is it your little audio at the bottom, or is it because it's downloaded?
It's downloaded, so it's his. But to be honest, Natalie, a couple of people messaged me like that, and I
don't mind that.
I don't mind that because number one, he's not getting any money for it. If he was, I'd be like, here, hold on now.
Yeah.
But like, he's not getting any money for it, and then
you're not getting any hate with the original. Like,
and exactly
for people who are offended by that word, yeah.
And I'm like, where am I going with it? Lost my train of thought now.
Well, we were saying how no one's able to come back to you as being the creator of that sound, so they've downloaded it and used it. So you're not getting the followers or the virality yourself from it.
But in fairness to anyone that is using it, and like my followers are like an army, they're in the comments tagging me straight going.
I tagged you one on Instagram there the other day. I don't know if you saw it.
They're literally like
TikTok.
No one will get away with saying it's their voice because my followers are in the comments going like, Kieran Corrigan, do you know, which is so cool. But my point I was going back to there before I got lost was like when I'm dead. My voice is going to be continued on just saying cunt. I think it's iconic. Like,
it's going to be on your gravestone.
Yeah, I think it's just absolutely brilliant. Someone actually sent me a video during the week, and it was a Clint. It was a flower arrangement on the back of a hearse, but the way they put it together, it looked like cunt instead of Clint. And I was like, I'm definitely going to do that. Like over my funeral, just make sure that somebody is.
I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Like,
but I find there's great power in it, Natalie.
As in a release of emotion, or
whatever it is for me, like I just find, and I do know people don't like it, and that's okay.
Like on the way here I was thinking, right, if my mum and dad listen to this episode and I'm saying cunt left, right and centre, they're going to be like covering their ears, like, but my nana would be like, shame on you. And then I'm like, it brings so much joy to your followers, to like your corner of the internet.
I just find it's like I love the way you say that's your corner of the internet. I just find it's there's so much pressure on people nowadays to have like the perfect life, the perfect house, the perfect body, the perfect bank account, the perfect car, the perfect fake like persona life online. And like, I think just to have somebody then just to say, like me, I believe anyway, just to be able to just go, oh cunt.
Yeah.
Do you know, and not be afraid of the backlash, not be afraid of it.
So much of this podcast and what I wanted to be about is literally building this unbreakable confidence where you are dead to other people's opinions and you can just be yourself and have the crack. And again, you are someone who is the definition of that by putting like the word cunt out there so much on your social media in a humorous way. It's not offending people, and you never cared. Where did you build this confidence? Did you always have this confidence? Was there a moment where you realised you needed to build it? Like, can you talk me through that a little bit?
I remember like when social media kicked off for me in 2019, and I think like around 2020, 21 was all that tattle life, and it was like, you know, really heavily trolling, and like I ended up on antidepressants for like 13 months, And then
that makes
like,
my heart sink.
yeah, and
that really
that was but looking back now, that's made me, I know it's so cheesy to say, but like, it's made
I'm all about
me who I am, and that strength, because I think you have to go through like a shit time and a really hard time to literally either you're going to sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I can't swim, but I did swim. I know that kind of way. But like, I know it sounds so cheesy, but like at the time it can be really hard. But like, there is something can come from something good can come from something bad.
Yeah.
And for me, that was like, I just learned to love myself more and not care about people's opinions. And like, I came off the antidepressants. Like, running for me is just insane. Like,
So that was like the next topic that I wanted to move into. I'm not sure if we had mentioned that before when we spoke about, you might have, about being on antidepressants for that time, because Tata Life, we won't even get into it. I don't want to give it the time of day. It doesn't deserve it. It's a horrible website, but it really destroyed a lot of people in the mental health. And I'm obviously sorry that you went through that. You know, you never want anyone to go through that, but you are so incredible for building back the strength and the confidence that you have to overcome all of that and be this bright, shining, comedic soul that you are online now.
I do. I enjoy it, like, you know, and like, but like, even now, like, when we talk, like, if someone mentions that, I remember like the first time Tata Life was mentioned to me, I was like your body, and like, it's only like, I've done a lot of work on myself, how much you feel and hold negativity in your body. It's insane. Like, it's actually insane. But it's.
So then, running, did that only come after kind of this what we call it, like the rock bottom period? Was running there before that, or did it just come in after?
No, like, I used to run like years ago, myself and my sister, and I remember we done a marathon in Limerick in 2017.
Oh, wow.
And I sat at the finish line crying. I was like, never ever am I doing this again. And
I never knew this.
Yeah, in 2017, and I'd done a good few half marathons before that, like the Mullingar ones and local ones.
So it's always been pretty prominent in your life.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, 2018, like, we went into buying our house when we got married, so you were literally had to lock in for work, you know, literally locked in to save, blah blah, whatever, and we done it. But yeah, so like 2020, 21, so towards the end of 2020, 21, maybe even into like 22, like all that kind of trolling was going on. It was 13 months I was kind of in around the antidepressant stage, give or take. And I remember, like, I was just turning into a fat little fuck, to be honest, I felt. And like, I was just like,
in that stage you weren't exercising.
Yeah, I wasn't exercising. I wasn't looking after myself. I was like, my thing was like Lucozade and Club Milks on social media and stuff like that, like, you know, Lucozade. And I remember the Kinnity GAA started Couch to 5K in January 2023. And I was like to her, I was like, I'm going to do this, because I was like, I'm living in the village now like 4 years, that like I don't know anybody, blah blah blah, whatever. And like, you know,
also you had been a runner previous to this.
That's it. And like, you know, when you live in a village, people think you know everyone, but like, it's a different times now. It's not like it was years ago. If you keep your head down, you will get to know nobody.
Yeah.
And I joined that and loved it, and done the 5K park run at the end of it, and was so sick. I remember I was down with a bug, but I was like determined I was going to do it, and I'd done it, and it was really cool. And then a couple of us got together in the club and set up the running club, and Athletics Ireland accepted it and all that kind of stuff. And it's gone from strength to strength to like the people there.
So you actually were one of the founders, per se, of the running club in Kinnity?
No, not at all, really. Like, you know, I was there, I was present, like I was on the first committee and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't call myself a founder in any way. You know, I found the door to get out. Good luck. Do you know? But no, I love the running side of it. Like, there's a committee there and they all do a brilliant job and everything. So
much work goes into these running committees and groups. Like, I know.
Oh, come here. I was on it for the first year and I was like, Kieran, gone, good luck. But
it's like a full-time job.
That's insane. They're dedicated.
They're volunteers.
I don't know how they do it, fair play. But like, our club has gone from strength to strength, like there's 60 something in it for Kinnity. And
Kinnity is a small town.
Small town. But the accountability you have when you join a club is just brilliant.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just love the running. It's after bringing so many opportunities for me. I believe it will bring more.
So, 100% it's going to bring more. So after that period, you got back into running by taking on this 5K, couch to 5K, Right. And then how did you go from being, say, okay, I'm back, I'm running a bit, 5K, maybe 10K, to now I'm doing ultras, running 50K around Donadee? Is that Donadee?
Yeah, Donadee 50. Yeah.
How, like,
I don't know. It's actually mad when you look back. Like, I don't know. I just kind of got addicted to it, I think. But
you get addicted to the endorphin hit. I think you
do. Like the feeling you have after doing even like a 5K. And like I only done a 5K there Sunday in road, and like I came home. I actually, to calm myself down, about like 4 hours later, I was literally changing this in the house, doing this, doing that, and I was kind of like, Kieran, calm down now.
Yeah.
Because your endorphins,
such a high.
It's insane. It's incredible. So it is. It's absolutely incredible.
And well done with that 5K, because you smashed it.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep just 8 of these races. So I got one sub 20 back in 2024 for 5K. And I'm trying, there's 8 of these Offaly Road Series healthy race.
Okay.
Whatever. So there's 3 races done now. I've done like 1934, 1834, and then 1901 there. So I'm trying to keep in.
I saw on your Strava, it was 1857, was it?
On my Strava, yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to take the chip time.
1901. I was like, do you know, but I was just so glad to finish that. But yeah, going back to the question now, what I love and makes me want to do better in it is the feeling. But I remember being on a run, and I was telling you this in the cafe, with a guy from the running club, and he was like, I remember, so it was Teddy's birthday last year, and we were coming back up the Walk Road in Kinnity, and I was like, I'm
just
done.
To give people context, Teddy is your son.
Yeah.
And he is 4.
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, it was his 4th birthday last August, and I was coming back up the Walk Road running with the guy, and I was like, I'm done. And it ended up, I was like, no, you go on, do your thing. But I remember it stuck with me that day. It was like, push through that wall. And like, I've actually found, especially this year, later of last year, but especially this year, 2026, of running, or even like say from October, say on last year, when you do push through, it's like you come into a whole new world, your body, because you go past the agony, but you can bring that back into your life so much. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like you can bring that determination and everything back into your life. It's not just running. It's just,
Kieran,
I love it.
Yeah, that's really good. I haven't heard anyone phrase it that way before on the podcast. And I guess running is such a big part of my life. I feel like a lot of my followers and maybe listeners are getting into running or do something that I love, speaking to fellow runners, because anytime I speak to someone about running, it is never, ever, ever anything to do with weight loss, body image, aesthetics. No, never. No. And I think that shows how powerful it is for your mental health. But no one has phrased it. Yeah, no one has phrased it that way, that you bring that determination of pushing through the tough times and pushing through what you think is a dead end.
Yes.
Into actual real life situations. Yeah, like that's powerful.
That 5K on Sunday, like I set off, I was like, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not going to do well in this, you know. And I was like, I wanted to stop at every kilometre. But it's like, when you can bring your head to a place where it's like your body is so sore, your chest is telling you to stop. You want to stop.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm going to stay going. And to bring that back into real life. Because let's face it, there's so many issues and problems facing people now. 100%. And if you can have that strength, I believe, in your head and bring that back into your real life, like from running's insane. I think it's just beautiful.
I agree with you. And when I did my first marathon, which you were there for, and we actually started.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chicago was my first. Yeah. And we started off together.
Yeah.
Because we were like literally beside each other in like our start pen.
Yeah.
And then you took off. And I remember being like, I'll try catch up with him. And I never caught up with you after that.
That was actually an incredible marathon. That was my first sub 4.
I remember that. I remember you were going for it. And like, I cannot put into words just how to describe the energy in Chicago that day. Like it was magical.
Was euphoric. It was actually
absolutely
just
magical.
Yeah.
But after I finished that marathon, I remember being like, I can do anything. Like literally, I was like, I am unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm going to do more marathons.
Part of the 1%.
Genuinely part of that 1%. And I do think now there's a bit of pressure probably as a result of social media for people to run certain times. Obviously, when you're running a while, you want to set yourself time goals.
Yeah, I do. I see that.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what time you do it in. I think we all have to have like little personal goals and personal targets. And that's what I love about the club, because it's the accountability there, and like you find your runners within the club and people are like kind of at the same speed and stuff. And I love doing a race and trying to get the person in front of you.
Oh yeah.
I love doing that.
That's what I do all the time. And for me now, maybe this is terrible to say, but when there's like, if there's a man has overtaken me, I'm like, I'm going to try and overtake him again. You know, this whole like hashtag beat the boys.
Or do you know what I absolutely love? When you're doing like a marathon and you're about 37k and you're like, I'm dead. And next minute you've like this 70-year-old man coming up past you and running and you're like, oh my God, I want to be like you when I'm older. It's just...
Or someone who's dressed up as like Superman with a big costume on and you're like, or someone in heels. There was people running the Chicago Marathon in heels.
But like, I think as well about running, I think why running has exploded so much. Obviously, it's so good for your head. It's good for your body, everything. It's so good for your head. And like, it's a great club there around it now, like all the clubs. But I think people are going back to actually appreciating nature.
Yeah, I think so too.
And like getting out and fresh air. Do you know that kind of way?
It's
not a cunt in sight, but like it's just appreciating nature. Do you know that kind of way? But you can't beat Mother Nature, like, you know.
So I don't know if I ever told you this when we were doing Chicago, but I years ago struggled with an eating disorder.
Okay.
I won't get into the details of it on the pod now. I'm sure people have heard it a million times before. But when I was kind of at my lowest with that, now it wasn't anorexia bulimia, it was in a bracket called OSFED, so I was just obsessed with counting my calories. I'd eat 2,300 calories to a T and then would not go above that. I track every single thing and I would exercise all off. So I was like, my lowest was like 41.2 kg or something. Like I was teensy, not well, but just struggled to get out of it. So that was like my rock bottom. My hormones were messed up, and at that point I had ran a half marathon before that got bad. Or was it when I was halfway through recovering and then I kind of relapsed? But I remember the dietitian telling me, like I really wanted to run another half marathon. I knew how much I loved running from a mental health perspective. But obviously there was a struggle. If you can't fuel it, you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. So she was like, long distance running, not going to be for you. Would not recommend you do another even half marathon. Don't mention the word marathon. Not for you, kind of.
When was this?
This would have been 2017, 18.
You know, it's mad. Like you just done the Chicago one.
Yeah, I know, and Amsterdam.
Oh my God,
7 days later.
Like, oh my God, yeah. Like, yeah. I know I was bad in Dublin 2 weeks.
I was just but that was my ignorance too. Having never ran a marathon before and the struggles with recovery. I thought 7 days would be fine, but I ended up getting like a really bad flu and stuff after, but we did it. But she told me running marathons won't be for me because of this addictive personality thing, I guess, that's going on as well. But which they would say a lot of people with eating disorders will have forever, and running, you can just get so addicted to the numbers side of things. But then also I injured my hip back when I was before I kind of relapsed with this recovery. I'd gained back the weight but didn't have my hormones back yet, so I shouldn't have been running, but I couldn't wait to start running again, so I started running when I didn't, because I didn't have a cycle. So I injured my hip. I got a partially torn hip labrum. Now that put me out for like a year, sent me back into a spiral, could only use a cross trainer, blah, blah, blah. Surgeon told me, didn't need surgery, but I was going to see a surgeon at the time. He said, you might run 5 to 7Ks, maybe a 10K. Won't ever do long distance. No point in doing surgery because you can get around. So we're not going to go in and do surgery. But I'd probably cross that off the table. Deadlifting, you'd be doing it from like a platform, because I used to love deadlifting as well, not as much anymore. And
I won't lift a spoon.
Unless it is to mix your double espresso. We're not lifting a spoon. But I think being told I couldn't do something made me so much more motivated to make it happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think that's one way that running has helped me feel so like I can break any boundary or any box that people put me in. Because these, like, I was gonna do like the bunny ear things with my fingers, but I'm not for professionals. They are professionals.
Yeah.
But you know your body better than anyone else.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and it's just, I don't know, it's something, I think we all have to find our thing. Like, and you know, like I never liked sports in school.
Same.
I never liked sports in school.
Hated it.
You know, but Nathalie, it's one thing for me as a parent, right? And like I was saying to you earlier on, the amount of activities our kids are doing and stuff like that. I even see now, like, say, with the kids, if they don't like something, look, you can, like, Bonnie doesn't like camogie. it's only started, so like four nights in or that. But like we bring her up, she does it, she plays it, she might do it on the side away from the team or whatever. And like only last night she went up and she loved it, and we allowed her to do the training. Then she was like to play a match at the end, and she's like, I don't want to do the match. And we were like, that's fine. But I had to stop one or two people that were like coming up saying to Bonnie and like, oh Bonnie, you're not playing tonight, or you're not doing this. And I had to say, she knows she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Do you know, please don't ask her. Do you know, but like we find our thing, do you know, that kind of way.
At
and
some
it's
point
like,
in life.
I love it even like, and again, this comes from running. It's kind of like, I found it later in life, do you know, and like, Bonnie's not going to love all these things. Like, you know, she will do camogie because it's in school. Like, you know, she'll partake in it or whatever. And not unfortunately, but like, you know, when you live in small villages, and I believe if you're not part of the GAA, you're going to be kind of left behind slightly.
Kieran, that's a very true statement. I'm going to agree with you
I
there.
do believe, and personally, because I wasn't part of the GAA, so like I wasn't in these clubs or cliques, you know, that kind of way. And not cliques, but like,
I would say,
I would say, like, you know, it's like, Bonnie, I understand you don't want to do this, but we'll go and we'll have our own fun at it. We can do our own thing at the side. We can kick around the ball, do whatever, blah blah blah. Teddy now is like a bull; he loves it. But I do believe it's important for the kids to try a load of different activities, and I can't wait till she starts running, because I can see it in her. She wants to run, and I think it's just so good for your mental health.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think that's a really powerful message for any parents listening or parents to be. And I've always said that, like there were some sports I wish my parents could have put me in, but God, they put me in everything that they could.
And Natalie, like it's brilliant to see, it's brilliant to see the running. Like there was no running when we were in school.
No, so that's the thing. I wish there had been athletics, because I think that would have been what I loved. Now I did stage school, but that was different. Like, you know, if there had been running, I probably would have done it. There was one cross country, but it just wasn't really as popular back then. Like obviously it was going on.
It was GAA.
But it was GAA, and I remember being not put into. I think I went to do football it was bolting glass, because I was like, I want to be with the girls. All the girls are going to matches while we're in school. All the girls are talking about the football. They're all talking about the training. They're all able to play it during PE. And I felt so left out that I was pushing myself to try and do it. And I'll never forget this one football session I went to. It was raining. I was wearing a fleece. I didn't have the right shorts. I didn't have the right socks. I didn't have the right shoes. They all knew what they were doing. And no one really broke it down for me. No one really explained. Like, and I'm only remembering kind of glimpses of this, because it would have been maybe first year. But I think from that moment, you've just made me realise this now. I definitely felt left out because I couldn't take to GAA.
Yep, 100%.
And I tried with camogie as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say this, because recently I was just an ambassador for the Centre Camogie Leagues.
Okay.
And a few times over the years with the girls, we'd be playing around with, like, you know, the hair on the slitter. And I loved that. I had so much fun doing that. But I was never ever one to play a match. Never wanted to play a match.
But that's why, like
so you recognise
now I'm saying, like, Bonnie, like she's her 5th session in, and like, oh, like I adore Bonnie. Like Bonnie is so independent. She knows what she wants. Like, and it's so beautiful to see in a child. And like the first session she played it, and the first training session she played it. Second didn't. Third like that, I brought her up, and she just played on the side, like the lady there played with them and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of like, you know, get a feel for it.
But I think that will help her to love the sport in her own way in years to come.
But that's it, and it's, I suppose my point in it is that, like, you know, they can still be involved, even if they're not fully involved in playing, you know, that kind of way. But like, look, she, as I said last night, was her 4th or 5th session, so like, you know, in a couple of weeks' time, she'll probably absolutely adore it. I really see me and Bonnie, because it really takes me time to come around people. I have to read people, read the room, read where I am, and get comfortable before I am myself. Do you know, that kind of way? And I love seeing that in Bonnie. I'm like, I think it's such a good trait, rather than just years ago I would have just bulled in and done something. And now I'm kind of like, no, let's step back for a second. And I love when she says no.
That's a really lovely way to look at it. And I think that's a lovely message to put out there.
I love when a child is like, they don't like a person, or like, you know, it takes them a while to come around, because, chances are the person probably is a cunt, and the child just knows it before we know it. But like, it's one thing about parenting that annoys me is people that try to force, as in like, what rots me with kids, if you go to like a party or anything with kids, or if you're in a strange place. I don't know how this conversation has gone into this now, but it's like she's very shy, isn't she? Or he's very shy, and I'm like, they just don't fucking know you.
I know.
Do you know that kind of way? They don't know. Like I hate when a family member can, in particular, can come and they can be like, oh God, they're very quiet or this or that. Like, I'm like, they don't know you. Like I'm an adult and I couldn't walk into a room with 20 people I don't know and be myself straight away. Yeah. I have to read the room.
That's true. I think this is a lovely message to get out there in the podcast, because we're so quick to comment on kids like that.
Absolutely.
Be it like a personality or a physical thing. I was always told I was like a stick, skin and bone, not pick on me. Look what happened to me years later, But you'd never have someone walk into a room that's like 30 years old and go, Jesus, your friend is fierce shy, aren't they? But it's okay to do to a kid when they're taking it in.
It takes you a while as a parent to actually get the confidence and the ability to just go, sorry, don't say that.
Yeah.
Or sorry, don't do that. Do you know, that kind of way. And like, you think people are going to be really offended, but they're actually not. Do you know, like if someone comes down to Bonnie's level now and says something to her like, that I know she's not comfortable with or I don't like, I'm like, no, sorry, don't do that.
No, I love that. I think that's a really good message to get across. And also, just going back to the GAA, I want to say one quick thing on that while it's in my mind, because obviously it's such a key part of our culture.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I've had this kind of 180 moment over the last, I'd say, 5-6 years, where now I'm like, who's playing today and who's won and what's the score? And especially when I was an ambassador for the Centric Camogie Leagues, I was like, oh my God, these girls are so talented. Yeah. And I think when I was in my early 20s, I just didn't have a love for it because it made me feel left out when I was younger. Yeah. But I think it's hopefully being done. And
I think it's changed now.
Yeah,
and I think it's like back in school for me, it was GA.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's a bit more diverse, like, the kind of way there's loads of different sports and stuff. And like people that are playing, like you're hearing now people that are actually like finishing their GA careers, because it is a career for some people. And they're going completely into hierarchies, like, that kind of way. It's insane, like how diverse it's gone.
I know.
It's cool, but
Right, we're going to move on a little bit, and I want to speak more about the online world. Okay. Right, so you are such a comedian online, like genuinely so comedic. Has this humour side always been there?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there was I'm one of 8.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm one of 8. Like, yeah, that's it. You kind of like, I don't really speak too much about my family because like you have to respect them as well, that it's 100%. Not their decision on social media, and like they are quite private, like, but my sisters are easy, like I know I kind of chat about them a good bit online or whatever, but I'd be one of 8, and it's like
you've always had this comedic element within the family.
It was always kind of there, but then it's like, Nathalie, you go back, maybe like I kind of look back now and I'm kind of like, I was so probably stupid comedic in school and stuff like that, and like the class clown, but it was always covering like what, like there was always the trauma for me. Now I'm realizing in my 30s is obviously daddy died when I was 3 and he was 36, so it was nearly like I see someone sad, and even now kind of to this day, like if I see someone sad, I try add a bit of humor into it.
Okay.
And like I find, rather than just going in and ripping the band-aid off if someone is sad or broken, if you add a bit of humour in, it can like soften it and open up the conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not class clown, but like I would have used humour to like help people.
Yeah, to lighten those. I thought originally you were going to say to like deflect from an emotion, but it wasn't. It was actually to let that emotion in.
Yeah,
which is a really nice way to look at it.
I love humour. I love humour. Like I think I'm very witty, like, and quick with my words and sentences and stuff.
No, you are. So okay, I love how much you share your comedic side online, and people need more of it. And I love that there's just a constant stream of positivity. But when you post things, because you've posted some like what I would say risky things. Yeah. Like if I posted a video, like say the one that Orna did, which I loved recently about the bleach and the toilet bowl and the stingy Mickey, right? Like I just know that Max and I, there's no way in a million years we post something like that, but it works so well for you guys. Yeah. Have you ever posted something and thought, this is either going to go viral or it's going to ruin me?
really. No, I had to say no. Like, no, like, and like, I'm sure you'd like relate to this. Like, you can put so much work into a video, and you're like, this is the one, like, you know, and it can flop.
Oh yeah.
Like, as in flop, as in like get shit views.
Yeah.
And then like the one that's just completely off the cuff. But I think that's something about Irish people, especially. We love the off the cuff.
We do.
And it's one thing I love about Irish people, because they'll just say it. You know, they will just say it as it is, and it's like, I think so. I think those videos where you're just kind of like really authentic and raw, and there's no editing in them, I think they resonate with people. You know,
the best. I think people can just relate to it so much more.
Absolutely,
it feels more authentic. Yeah. What is one of the phrases or jokes that you have used so much online you're nearly sick of, or would you ever be sick of them?
No, because honestly, like they mean something to me. Do you know that kind of way? Like, I don't just say something for the crack of it. Like, they do mean something to me.
Speak to me more about your merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there going to be another drop of this merch coming out?
Yeah, so the merch, I'm probably kind of lazy with it in one way. Like, you know, I should be locking in more, but I kind of like, I just enjoy like doing a little launch here or there. And
because I remember the last time you launched was I was probably way more engaged in your content, because pre-Chicago we hadn't engaged a whole lot online. So I wasn't seeing all of your content. I'd see bits and pieces. Then after Chicago, obviously having met you, I was so much more engaged with it. And when I saw that drop, I meant to go and like get one of the mugs.
Yeah.
And I never got around to it. Things happen here and there. And then when I was going through your social media last night, I was like, I would love one of those mugs that has the word cunt on the front of it.
The mugs, like, the mugs are they're such hard work, honestly. The margin in them is not great.
Oh, really?
And it's by the time you like packed in a bubble wrap and then like post and all that kind of stuff, like, it's just insane.
The hoodies are the way to go.
The hoodies are obviously you're either tissue paper or they come pre-packed in a bag and pop them into a mailer bag and off they go. But the mugs I absolutely adore doing, but they're really hard work, Nathalie.
From a business side of things.
Yeah, they're really hard work. Like, I pack everything myself, so like they're really hard work. But I love doing them. I think there's just great meaning in them.
Can we expect another drop of merch soon?
Oh yeah, definitely, like 100%. Like, you know, I'm kind of like, it's something that I don't want to rush or bait out. I'm kind of like, and I know it's, again, it probably sounds cheesy, but like, there's meaning for me putting them out. And I genuinely don't mind because I was able to do them on pre-order, the hoodies especially, if I sold 10 or if I sold 1,000.
Yeah.
Because I'm genuinely putting them out with the sayings on them.
Can we share with people some of these phrases and sayings in case they haven't come across it and then they want to keep an eye out for the merch in the future?
Like, the cunt outsold everything. Like, the cunt mug.
That just shows you though, it's not as like condemned of a word.
No, it's so humorous for Irish, you know, that kind of way. But like, the cunt mug was just insane. And then there was another one, you can't uncunt a cunt. And that outsold cunt, actually, you can't uncunt a cunt.
Was this on a jumper, you can't uncunt a cunt?
On a mug. or went on the sleeves as well of the hoodies, yeah. But the mugs just literally, I remember like watching the sales going in for the mug and I was kind of like, oh my God. Like, and you know, now you'd say something if you're making like a tenner a mug, but you're not like, you're selling it for like €11, you know.
Okay, yeah.
You know, you have to pay for the mug, you have to pay VAT tax, all that kind of stuff. You're not making
tiny margin.
Yeah, tiny. Like, you're doing this because you love it. Like, I know that's people are like, yeah, right. But honestly,
I know that.
But it's like by the time the amount of mugs you pack in an hour, you wouldn't if from a business head, you'd be kind of like, oh, here you're a busy fool. Like, you know, you're taking the shirt off your back. But people love them.
I would love a hoodie that has that like front and centre, or on the back, like big, like you can't uncunt a cunt. Did you come up with that?
I did.
It's brilliant.
Actually, no, a guy I know actually said it to me, and I did ask him, and it's like, it's okay if you use it. He said, yeah. But look, I'm sure many people do. But there's a lady over in England, I can't think of her exact name. It's Itty Bitty something, but she does like her own pottery mugs. And she puts cunt in them and all that stuff. But like, you need to check her out. She's just absolutely insane. Every drop she does sells out. I can't get a mug.
I just feel like, you know, the start of your day involves having a mug. Like for me, it's a cup of tea or sometimes it's a cup of coffee, depending on the mood. And I feel like that lightens it. I feel like that makes heavier issues lighter.
And I always go back to what Mammy'd say. Like, you know, like Mammy was always with us when we were growing up. That like, no matter the problem, go to her. Do you know that kind of way? Or my brothers and sisters, like, do you know, we murder each other like every family. But I know if I have an issue, I can pick up my phone and ring one of my brothers and sisters, or I can ring Mammy. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
Probably more so towards Mammy or my sisters.
Yeah.
But like, I know I can pick up the phone and ring them. And it's like, I always tie a mug back to what Mammy says, like, hop on the kettle and have a cup of tea and we can sort it out.
And it's so true.
It's so true. Like, you know, they're a staple. I think a mug is such a staple thing in an Irish household.
It is.
Like,
and just tea and treats.
Yeah. It's
which I think that's what I feel when I look at a lot of your content. There's so much of my childhood and my home
try
in
to
it.
keep it, like, you know.
I love when you say, like, lads, it didn't touch the back of my throat.
It touched the back of my throat. You know,
I hadn't heard that before meeting you. And it actually took me a couple of times hearing you say it to go, it's because it was like just that nice. He like gobbled it down.
That's it.
Didn't touch the back of my throat. I love it.
It's mad, like, but no, like I just try to keep my social media like it just a bit lighthearted, like fun, you know.
Have you ever said anything online that's like gotten you into trouble at home?
Not really, no. No, not really. No, I wouldn't have.
And then what is, obviously you've had some hate on social media in the past, more so with Tata Life. But speaking about like strange DMs, unusual messages, can you give us an example of one or two?
God, off the cuff, like I
there's probably been so many. It's hard to think
there's just
of one.
so many. Like it's just it's I don't know, like the ones that just completely pick you up wrong. Do you know, that kind of way? They'd slightly bother me because I'm like, I'm not that person. You know, that kind of way. But then I'm like, what's triggering you?
Yeah.
Do you know, that kind of way? But
are you okay?
Yeah, like the other night when we done the video, myself and Lorna on the Stingy Mickey from the domestics, like someone wrote to her and they were like,
I feel like we just need to give people a bit of context here if you don't know what we're talking about, because we're just talking about bleach in a bowl and Stingy Mickey.
Domestics, I want a job.
Yeah. Go check out
the safety side. But like someone wrote to her and it was like basically, he's so needy. He's just there, like, you know, it's me with him. And I'm like, no, that's actually us having the banter and crack. Like, I was like, you're painting me to be a right cunt here. Like, and I was like, I'm not, you know, that kind of way. But
and I often feel like in public relationships, people like to pick a side, even though there's no side. But I feel like most public relationships that I have come across online or follow and love to follow, because it's a brave thing to do. Like Max and I have definitely made the decision to try and keep more of our relationship private, because I think it's just a lot getting those opinions, and people do tend to pick a side and be like, he or she is too X for you. Yeah. And it's one person that gets the blame in a relationship just because you've decided to put yourself out there. So I admire the two of you for doing that.
You know, it's good. Like, you know, but look, lads, it goes back to like, you're always going to, no matter what you do, you know, where someone could say to me now, this t-shirt I'm wearing is black, they could say, that's white. I'm like, yeah, it is, fair play to you.
Yeah, just let them on.
Fair play to you. Yeah, it is white, yeah.
Question for you, this is a bit of a deeper one. If you could give someone listening advice that is struggling with their confidence, what would you say?
Struggling with their confidence. Like, honestly, shooting from the hip here, Australian, like, you need to genuinely learn to love yourself. And like, because it's, unless you literally love yourself, I believe you can do all the work.
Learning to love yourself. I feel like we hear that so much. How do you learn that?
Therapy. Honestly, therapy. I speak about therapy on my page and like go to therapy and stuff. I adore it. I just absolutely adore it. And like, people think when they think of therapy, just want to say that, like, you know, it's 70, 80 euros an hour. Most places it can be in private practice. And like, I go to a private practice like for therapy. But like, there's also like students in those practices that could be offering therapy for a tenner for the hour, 20 euro low cost counselling, you know, that kind of way. Yeah. And like, just therapy online now. There's so many options. I love therapy. Like,
you know what? You've inspired me. There's a lot of things have popped up within me lately, like little tiny things, and I'd be like, oh, why do I feel that way about X or about Y, or how do I shake this thought about Z, right? And I'm like, I should probably speak to a therapist about this, but it doesn't feel like that big of an issue.
Well, see, Natalie, people think you have to speak to a therapist, like, you know, if it has to be a really deep, dark secret or deep, big issue. It doesn't. You can literally, like, I've sat in front of my therapist many a day, and like, I think I'm on my 5th therapist. And like, you know, because you find the one for you. Yeah. And I'm like, you can literally, I just go and offload. Yeah. I had a shit week at this, whatever, just offload. And like,
I need to do that more, because I think I definitely, like I said, I'm not at your stage of being dead to people's opinions. So sometimes if I'm like, right, ma'am, I'm just off to therapy, I'm a bit afraid she's like, you're off to what? Yeah. What's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing has to be wrong. Yeah. I just want to go and have a chat with my therapist.
But I think just the more we speak, I think like, I hate when people say like, oh, you have a platform, use it, like, you know, but like, and I hate that pressure, but like, I do think if like we can freely say, like, you know, because there's so much stigma around it, like mental health. It's just, it's silly. So it is, you know, and like, I love therapy. So yeah, my advice to somebody like is, look, I'd say to you, go to therapy, do you know, that kind of way. But like the real thing you have to do is love yourself to a point that you are dead to other people's opinions, do you know, that kind of way.
Yeah, that's the goal after this.
Do you know?
Absolutely. You've inspired me to go and make that next appointment now after this recording. Right, we do this towards the end of every episode, Kieran, and it is the ground shaking confession. So you might need to have a bit of a think about it. Okay. Confess to us something you've done that really shook things up in your life, big or small. Ground shaking moment.
Let me think now. Straight away, shooting from the hip is the whole thing of opinions.
I love it. Yeah.
I straight away, because like, honest to God, like you can, and no matter what situation or scenario you're in, people are always going to have an opinion of you. Like, and like, I'm actually a quite simple person, like, you know, t-shirt, shorts, runners. Do you know, the abuse I get from people if I stand into a family photo or stuff like that, oh my God, you're in the shorts again or whatever. But like, you could take that home with you and then dress a certain way. And I'm like, I'm just so comfortable and casual the way I am, do you know? And yeah, opinions. I think like if you can literally, and I think with parenting as well, like, you know, you're always going to have people saying like, oh, your child should be doing this or should be this way or should be doing that or like playing this sport, doing whatever. But like, if you have the confidence in yourself as a parent to distill down into your kids that they know who they are and like that they don't have to like do something for someone else's
validation.
Yeah. Do you know, I think that's such a good thing. And
that is really
Nathalie, at the end of the day, it doesn't make people's opinions don't matter, like, but we focus on it so much because it's literally bred into us. But like, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Someone's opinions.
Like I remember I was listening to another podcast there recently because I watched the recent Love Island series. Right, I love everything dating. So like every Love is Blind episode from every country in the world.
You were telling me
I watched it. Right? Obsessed. And I listened to podcasts of the girls that have come out of Love Island, and they're all speaking about the procedures and Botox and fillers and like things done here and there because of the opinions that people gave them online. Like they got the boob job because they were told they were too flat.
I know.
They got filler in their chin because they were told they had like a bum chin and all these different things. I'm like, oh my God.
But that like it goes back to like loving yourself. Like, you know, that work, it wasn't done. You know, before they were even put onto those platforms, like, you know, that kind of way, there should have been a bit of work done there, I believe, you know. And it's like, I believe therapy is the way forward. Like, I'd love to see, even in primary schools, therapy. Do you know, that kind of way? I'd love to see it more so in schools. I know it is coming in secondary schools a bit more. But like, I'd love to see. And like, therapy isn't about fixing you. Do you know, that kind of way? It's giving you the power and the tools to like, you know, to work with your feelings and to understand yourself more. And I just love it. I think that and running, I think, is just insane.
That was really lovely. That was a lovely way to answer the ground shaking confession. Okay, before we finish up, Kieran, we're going to do a quick fire, right? So we're just going to shoot some questions at you, and you give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, Jesus,
favorite cheat meal after a run?
Spice bag.
Spice bag. Okay, worst habit you have?
God, I don't think I have one.
Saying cunt isn't a bad thing anymore.
No, I don't think. Worst habit I have? I don't think I'd have one.
I don't think you do.
Fairly perfect.
I love it. One phrase you say too much.
Cunt. Yeah. Cunt, 100%.
I don't know why I find it so
100%,
funny.
Yeah.
Early morning run or lie in?
Early morning run lately.
Okay. Coffee order?
A double espresso. I don't drink coffee.
Hopping off the wall.
I don't drink coffee. All I drink is double espresso. I know it sounds so stupid. I've never had cappuccino, latte, anything else, just double espresso.
You've had one?
I've never.
You never tasted a latte?
Never. I literally...
Someone get this man a latte.
Double espresso, that's it.
That's mental. When did you start drinking double espressos?
In Sports Direct, when I was working about 12-hour shifts and I was running after people robbing left, right and centre, and I was the Costa Coffee opened up in the car park, and I was like, I think Aisling got me a double espresso one day. She's like, here, try that. And I love it. Every morning I have it now. Like, I find it great.
Wow, yeah. That's incredible. Because we went down to Lambert's for a coffee before this.
And it was gorgeous coffee.
And I was like, what's your coffee order? You said double espresso. I was like, this lad is mad. But it works for you.
I think a double espresso nearly represents me, because I'm quick. And you know that kind of
quick,
way.
To the point, get it done.
Whereas this double espresso, down the hatch, you know that kind of way. And that's me. I'm quick, like that, get it done, in and out, whatever, blah, blah.
God. So, and what does this say about me? I get a skinny caramel latte. I usually ask for a teapot of hot water as well, so I can sit there and savour it and top it up for as long as is possible.
No, I think a double espresso represents me well, like, so.
I'm just slow and lazy. Okay, most embarrassing thing that's happened to you, like on a run or otherwise?
Probably, oh my God, actually, the one that's coming to head to me is last August, Tullamore half marathon. Literally wanted to get 1 hour 40.
Yeah.
And basically got 1 hour 40, 20 seconds because I went at the end of the Tullamore Harriers, you have to come on and run around the track. So when I looked directly over on my left, I was halfway around the track. I could see the finish line. And I was running with Niall. I was like, I'm going to get sick. And he's like, you're not. And I was like, I'm going to get sick. Literally, like, everyone watched me just puke on the track. And then I just wiped my mouth and burst it on. I was like, did I just fucking do that? I was bulling like on 1 hour 40, 20. Cost me. But look, I think it's all good, like, you know. But
running, these things
that just came to my head.
And you're lucky it was that end and not the other end.
Yeah, do you know what, that kind of way.
Online where it's the other end and people just.
But you know what, Nathalie, you're actually like, if I was to shit myself on the run now, I'd actually just be like, look, lads, we all do it. You know,
I do think running makes you more humbled to
absolutely
just being a human.
Way,
I have had some issues now when I was trying to get my fueling right for runs, and I've had to jump a ditch or two. Like, if this happened on race day and there was no portaloo near me, I don't know what I do. I get how it happens to people. Anyway, at least you were only sick. Most useless purchase you've made recently?
Honest to God, like,
I think you're smart with these things.
I literally I don't buy much, to be honest. I genuinely like if it's for the house or stuff like that, I genuinely don't buy much. I really don't. Like, years ago I would have been more of an impulse buyer and spending, whereas now I'm kind of like, you know, something for the kids or like going out of the house. But
that's a great way to be. I feel like TikTok shop is taking over.
No, I can't deal with that.
I can't deal with that. I bought one thing off it, useless, never again.
I tried it going on selling stuff, and I was kind of like, I might actually have to do a video to make a cent.
Oh, stop.
And I was like, no, good luck.
I know, it's not worth the amount of work that goes into it. If you came with a warning label, what would it be?
Can't.
Not even says
no, like. No, I think just like I think that would be my label, because I think, like, I love that word, and it's like, I don't see it as a bad word. I see it as like an honest word. Do you know, that kind of way? And I think like I think it's just it's out there. It's like, it's just laying it all out there. Do you know, that kind of way?
My next question, I think, is going to have the same answer. I'm laughing already because I know it's going to be, what would your autobiography be called?
Oh, come on.
That is so good.
I done a reel writing a book. I pretended I wrote a book, and it's up on my grid as well, and it got great views as well. I was like, oh, this is a book. I think it was like How to Uncunt or something.
Oh, very good.
The KC style or something like that.
I'm not sure I saw that.
It is, look, it's a mad word, and I do apologise to people that don't like it. But go work on yourself. Why is it triggering you? Do you know?
I think that is a lovely way to wrap up this episode of Shake the Ground.
Flying it.
Oh,
stop. Like,
it always
goes so quick.
Yeah. Before we finish up, I just want to take a moment to thank our partners at Amplify Podcast Studio. Honestly, having the right team behind you, it does make all the difference. And Amplify don't just produce podcasts, they build podcasts designed to last. If creating something meaningful in this space is on your mind, definitely check them out at amplify.ie. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Kieran, thanks so much for sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, you said something during the pod there about having to like read the room, suss things out, and I'm just so happy that you felt like you could come into a conversation with me and want to and enjoy it, make the journey here. It means so much.
Yeah,
it
no,
really,
I think
really
in
does.
Chicago, like, we clicked. I was like, there's no bullshit with you.
No.
You know, that kind of way. And I can see that with a person straight away. As I just say, there are vampires, stay away from them.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of vampires around. You know, that kind of way. There's a lot of vampires around. It's a metaphor using that they're not actually sucking the blood out of you, they're sucking the energy out.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
You're not one of them.
That means a lot. Thank you.
You're Buffy.
You're Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, Kieran, that's brilliant. Genuinely, you've been so fun, so open, so authentic. It means the world. And I'm sure that this episode has helped so many listeners to build confidence, to maybe get into running, to learn to love themselves. But also, if there's parents listening, to maybe go about easing them into sports and how they speak to children in a different way. There's so many wonderful takeaways from this. So thank you in advance for all the people I know you're helping.
Brilliant. Thanks a million.
And to you listening, don't forget to rate and subscribe the podcast. If you have been enjoying it so far, send me a DM. Let me know how you're finding it. Oh, Kieran, if people want to find you on socials, where can they go?
Instagram would be my main one. Well, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Instagram is main one. It's Kieran_Corrigan.
Kieran Corrigan. Yeah, we'll have it linked in the show notes anyway. So until next time, guys, keep trusting yourself, keep pushing past the fear, and keep shaking the ground.